My name's John Wood, and I run the Brass Machine. I'm the one that makes all the musical arrangements, so I write the music for the group.
How did this all actually come to be in the first place?
I kind of looked at, what does the Isle of Man not have? And we've got loads of amazing brass bands here, traditional brass bands. But I just thought it'd be cool just to innovate a little bit and do something a bit different that, nobody's done before here.
So it's all brass, apart from yourself, Jay. What is it like being the man with the sticks and not the brass?
Oh, it's amazing. So everything I've done since I started playing has been in like brass-related groups. I started in brass bands, and then I've played in ska bands, supporting Bad Manners and Sponge and people like that when I was across, and then into musical theatre, and now onto this. It's great. It's nice to be in the hot seat. I like being in this position where it's kind of, we do a couple of rehearsals and off we go for a gig. I think that brass sound, it's just something I love now. It's just something I can't escape.
Tell us a bit about how you choose the material then. How do you decide on what pieces you're going to arrange for the group?
So basically, I just pick anything that I think's going to sound good. I grew up listening to drum and bass and electronic music and house and all these things, and I really wanted to kind of cross those two worlds between, what I do as a tuba player and the music that I grew up listening to and loving.
So it is a big mix, isn't it? So give people a bit of an indication of some of the tracks that you do.
Yeah, so, the ones that we've done as virtual ensembles, the first one we did was I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. And then the second one, which we released yesterday, was DNCE's Cape by the Ocean, which is awesome. I really enjoyed arranging and recording that one. It's super funky. We've also covered some of the songs, original music by a band in Manchester called the Riot Jazz Brass Band. You should definitely check those out. They're awesome. I'm going to ruin the surprise now, but next week we're doing Rudimental's Waiting All Night, so a drum and bass track, which is awesome.
I'm forever sending John things like, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? Can you arrange this? Get right in this. Like, sick of me.
What sort of stuff are you into then, Jay? And what sort of things are you recommending?
But there's an arrangement of Africa that I've come across that's in the same kind of setup that just sounds amazing. So that was the last one I sent to you, wasn't it? And then Umbrella and just bits and pieces like that. So, yeah, John's got his work cut out, I think.
You've created a brass beast, haven't you, John?
Yeah, I've created a monster.
The different songs that you're talking about here, they appeal to so many different people, don't they? And especially when you think about, that gig in Peggy's, which is predominantly quite a young crowd, isn't it? So is this introducing this type of music, or at least these instruments, I suppose, to a different audience?
Yeah, absolutely. And, like I said earlier, it's just a chance for me to, and the group to innovate a little bit and do something different and take these instruments into a kind of new world. The Isle of Man, it's produced lots of, fantastic brass players in the past, people like Jason Evans, principal trumpet of the Philharmonia Orchestra, I myself had an orchestra job in South Africa, which I came back from a couple of years ago. So it's great that we're doing some really cool brass stuff here on the Isle of Man, and kind of getting the name of the Isle of Man out there as well, which I think is cool. But I think it's also great for the young brass musicians on the Isle of Man to see that we can use brass instruments in different ways, and hopefully it's a bit more relatable to the music that they like to listen to.
So tell us then a bit about these ensemble pieces you've been recording, because as we said, you can't really gig right now, hopefully soon, fingers crossed, but you've been putting out some videos. Tell us about those.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, when we went into lockdown, I thought, what can we do just to kind of connect as a group and, continue making music, and also to be able to put something out there that just spreads a little bit of joy. How can you not dance around the room to something like Cape by the Ocean, I made some short arrangements, so the kind of brief I gave myself was between 60 and 90 seconds. I sent the music out to all the musicians, and they recorded their parts using a backing track which I'd created. And we just kind of cobbled together what recording devices we could. Some of the parts we even recorded with mobile phones and stuff like that. So they all sent me their parts, which I edited together on the computer in Logic. And then I sent those away to a friend of mine that I used to work with in China, in Beijing. Wayne is a British guy, a sound engineer, and he helped us kind of tweak it and get that nice polished sound. Yeah, and then I had to quickly kind of teach myself how to use Final Cut Pro. And then we created the videos. But it's been great fun, and the response from the community has been awesome.
What would be your dream gig for the Brass Machine for each of you then? Where would you really like to play?
Go on, John.
Okay, I'd really love to play at the Dark Horse Festival. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be really cool. I could pick some kind of gig, say something like touring, but I'd love to just kind of share this music with people on the Isle of Man.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah. I would like to do one in TT, either the Bushy stage or the one on the prom, if there is going to be a tent on the prom again, just because then we're keeping it local, but it's opening us to a wider audience with all those people there. I think it would go down really well.
So John, then tell us where we can find you guys.
Best way to find us is just to go to Facebook or Instagram and type in the Brass Machine IOM.